What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JP's on the keys, and it's 2 Easy About video today. And this is a video that I've gotten a lot of requests for. Shout out to Andy Wong. Andy Wong. I know I might be saying it wrong. But he recommended Hannah Hauxwell. I looked up her story, and so this was about a woman who is maintaining an 80-acre farm by herself with no electricity and no running water. Like, in the wintertime, she has to basically survive. Like, then apparently she's gotten a couple of documentaries made about her, like showing it. She's carrying a cow by herself in a blizzard. Like, but the good thing is people actually reached out. People wanted to help this woman because, like, who wants to see an old woman struggling to do stuff? Especially someone who's like just by herself. That just makes it even worse. But I'm glad that, we have some good-hearted people in the world that want to help her. Unfortunately, she did pass away like 5 or 6 years ago. But her story was so captivating that, it stole the hearts of people all across the world, really. So I'm really this is my first exposure. So I know she does have documentaries out. Let me know if you want me to watch her documentaries, because I can definitely watch them on here, But thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support you guys give my channel. But let's go.
This was the moment 35 years ago Hannah Hauxwell first appeared on our television screens. Little did anyone realise she was about to become a household name and a national celebrity.
In a blizzard. She's carrying a cow by herself in a blizzard. It's crazy. It's like basically her...
No one could believe that in the 20th century anyone, let alone a woman, was still living such a harsh life, weathering some of the worst winters on record, at a remote farm in the high Pennines. Hannah was 46 when producer Barry Cockcroft and cameraman Mustafa Hammouri came to Low Burkhat Farm in 1973 to start filming. They returned many times over the next 2 decades to chart Hannah's struggle to remain on the farm.
Hannah Hauxwell was left on her own when her mother, the last of her family, died 12 years ago. In the house, there's no electricity, no water on tap. When she wants a cup of tea, she has to go to the stream in the field where the cattle graze.
Now in her 80s, Hannah still vividly and fondly remembers the day the television crew came to call, and her life changed forever.
There'd been a discussion about programmes and who they should have to make them, and quite a few with thinking along the lines of well-known people. And so Barry says, why not go out and meet ordinary people? And so the reply was, well, you go and do it then. So he was made a series. It was what he called The Hard Life. So anyway, Barry arrived one morning or at some time at his desk and found a message. Met this woman, good talker, might be worth looking up.
It's all right, thank you, will Mammy? Ah, you little beast. Oh, you little beast.
And he said it was lovely. And
That's like, wouldn't you want to like get some people over there to help her? Like, of course, I think I heard she got a whole bunch of donations, but it's like, couldn't she? I feel like, I don't know what I guess she used it to help maintain her farm, but I don't know. I feel like I would have hired some hands. I would have hired some farm hands. Like, this is way too much work to be doing by yourself.
Mustafa, behind the cameras, talking very quickly, as he did. And I loved having them. I was sorry when they went. They were lovely people. I would say I was very lucky that Barry was, in the first place, the man he was, and also that I liked Mustafa, and I just liked them, and of course they became friends, and I just liked them, and I was sorry when they went. I missed them when they went.
Hannah's plight gripped the millions of television viewers who watched, and Yorkshire Television's switchboard was jammed for 3 days by people wanting to find out more and help her in some way.
Right.
My father died when I was 7, and my uncle came to manage the farm for us. Uncle used to say sometimes, there was repairs and things to be done. Maybe a beast had broken the thing that its chain was tied to, and things like other things. And Uncle would announce, I'm going to do so-and-so, and I shall require a labourer, which was never well received. But, after I was left on my own, I was jolly glad that at least I could knock a nail or two in. And I was quite an expert, even though I say it myself, I was quite an expert with baling string.
There is a further hazard which forces Hannah to hang her food in plastic bags from the ceiling to protect it from rodents driven to seek winter shelter within Loughburg Hat.
We've always had rats.
Couldn't get nobody to help her cook. You couldn't get nobody to hook up no electricity?
A while ago.
No plumbing?
At the foot of the stairs. I don't know which was the most frightened, it or me. But fortunately it went the other way. No, I hate their horrible things. I don't like them. It wasn't easy. There was the good side and the not so good. Fairly harsh, but I was blessed with, on the whole, a good physique. And I liked the animals, and I didn't have to, which wouldn't have suited me at all, I didn't have to take orders from anybody. Well, this is Rosa, of course, the mother cow, and grandmother now. 2 of her daughters, the oldest one, Puddles, and Patch. He's a grandson, Bubbles, the big one. And he's another grandson, the little Peekaboo. They're half-brothers, those 2. I sometimes think they're like me little family. And sometimes rather like children, especially the little ones, because you bring them up from babies.
She has to do that to get water.
Sometimes
it's crazy.
The temperature drops so low that the stream flowing a few yards from her door, the principal source of water, freezes solid. And she's obliged to make the difficult downhill journey to the reservoir to fetch water for herself and the cattle.
Man, this don't even make sense, man. This is... Why you got this old woman out here in the freezing cold?
I used to go to down what we call the new road to the bridge, to Boulder Bridge, and carry buckets. But you never know how much water you need or how much the cattle need till you're short.
One of the most touching scenes was a rare occasion when Hannah left the farm to attend a harvest festival supper and dance. Her enjoyment of the social occasion and the music was obvious.
I hadn't been before, but went to the harvest supper, and then there was dancing afterwards. It was quite different, a lovely meal. Mrs. Field was quite a character. And a hunting horn at one point, I think.
But in some ways, the Harvest Festival celebrations only served to emphasise Hannah's loneliness and sense of isolation.
During winter, Hannah can go for 10 days without seeing another soul. She's 46. There's never been a man in her life. No real prospect of marriage.
Well, that's something that one can't just choose to do. A good marriage is a good thing if one's privileged to meet anyone. I think there's all the difference in the world between a good marriage and being on one's own. But of course, if it isn't a success, well, I think there can be nothing worse than being obliged to share a roof with someone you're utterly at variance with. That's terrible. But that's something, it's in other hands. You can't choose. One can't go into a shop and say, I want a husband.
That was her when she was 46? Jeez, I think doing all that work probably aged her so much. That's probably why she,
Hannah Hauxwell remained alone at her beloved Low Birkhat farm for another 15 years. Marriage was never to be for Hannah, but her newfound fame brought her other opportunities. The documentary had turned Hannah into a national celebrity, and the film crew followed her getting ready for her first big trip outside the Dale.
Among the invitations was a request to attend the Women of the Year lunch in London as a guest of honour. She had never been to London before, so she prepared very carefully. Since she had no water on tap, her laundry had to be done in the reservoir below Low Birkhat. And the first new dress since her mother's funeral was purchased.
And a Hauxwell.
Would you exchange your life in the Dales for going to functions like this and living in London? I mean,
It's nice for a while, but not. I wouldn't think on a permanent basis. No, I would need to be quiet and to get back to the hills.
you're going to be presented to the Duchess of Gloucester.
Well, I didn't know I was to be presented to her. Oh, it's very wonderful. Yes. I hope I'll behave in the correct manner. That's all.
It's Hannah Hauxwell, Yorkshire. Very nice to you. Heard so much about you. Who was looking after your farm?
The neighbours looking after my farm.
Let's do a picture of the two. That's fine. Can you go back a bit, Hannah? Back to the fine.
This is where we have to talk very naturally with ourselves. Usually the press tells you what to talk about.
Yes.
At least we don't get that today.
To begin with, the event, I don't know if it still is, it was at that time held at the Savoy Hotel, and so Barry was saying this, that and the, different outlining details and so forth, and he said, oh, by the way, you'll be staying at the Savoy. Well, I'd never stayed in a hotel in my life before. So, man, I said to a friend recently, there's nothing like starting at the top, is there?
But Hannah returned home to the Dales, little realising her life was about to change once again in a way she could never have dreamt.
Okay, that's the end. But seeing this, of course you commend her for being able to maintain a farm on her own for all this time. But this raises a lot of questions. The people that made this documentary, is it really being made in good faith? This is a question. Or are you, is it a way to, exploit this woman's situation? Or is it to really highlight her plight? It's like a double-edged sword. Because my thing is, if she has all these donations from all these people and she has all this newfound fame and celebrity, nobody tried to get her some electricity? Nobody tried to get her some running water, some actual plumbing? Nobody tried to do that? Nobody tried to hire her some farm hands? Or at least, somebody to help her? I highly doubt she was just extremely stubborn and just refused all this help. What? okay, oh, look at this poor woman doing what she's doing, but then after all this, she just goes back to the farm and let's go make another documentary on her so we can just say how poor of a woman she is. Oh, this poor lonely old woman. Like, this is a commendable story for her, but I feel like when I see this, I feel like more could have been done for her. You know, I commend her for everything she's done because this is a very inspirational story to be able to manage this on your own despite all the death in your family or the hardships. But it feels like she missed out on so much in life because she had so much to do on the farm. Like, she missed out on so much. Like, she barely got out of the farm, not even being social, no chance to have a husband or children. Like, I don't know, but let me know if you want some more of this. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Do not forget to turn on my post notifications if you haven't already. Thank you so much for the support. I'm out. Peace.